Ariel Helwani for mmarated.com with a very special guest, the oh-so-talented Loretta Hunt. Loretta, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing very fine, and your name popping up everywhere. I mean, you're on books, you're on websites, a couple of other places probably, I don't know. How has time been at SureDog.com so far?
It's been really great. It's a great website. I didn't really know how big of an organization it was until I got on the inside. I mean, I've been friends with Jeff Sherwood, who's the founder of SureDog.com, a lot of the editors that are involved in it. And I mean, this is so cheesy, but we're a big family. So we kind of grew up covering this sport together. So it's so great to work with people that I really respect and like as people in the sport.
Yeah, you've been involved in the sport forever, and you finally joined
Not forever, just 7 years.
Just 7 years, fine. But in MMA, that's a long time since the sport is so new, especially here in North America. And for a long time, SureDog was the top dog. Now you finally joined the top dog. It must have been kind of like a good achievement for your career, right?
Yeah, no, I'm really flattered that I was able to get a position at SureDog. I kind of always figured I'd be working for them in some capacity, and we kind of flirted with that option a couple years back and here and there, but just the timing seemed to be right. Josh Gross was moving on to SportsIllustrated.com, and you know, there seemed to be an opening for the specifics that I do. I tend to like to break news more. I don't do features so much, once in a while, but with the books, that kind of takes up a lot of my long writing. So I'm kind of like a go-getter news person, and SureDog wanted one of those, so it all worked out in the timing.
Yeah, she is certainly a go-getter, and prior to being involved with SureDog, you worked for the Fight Network up in Canada, best country in the world.
That's right, you're Canadian.
Yes, that is right. I am Canadian. What was your experience like? Thank you. What was your experience like working with the Fight Network?
It was great. I mean, I got a lot of on-camera experience, which was something I always kind of wanted to try. Not to get the attention, but just to find a new way to relate to the fighters and kind of bring that to the fans. You can only do so much with writing. Video is obviously the wave of the future, and more sites are using it, as they should. Yeah, no, my experience with the Fight Network was great. I was there for a year and a half. I learned a lot about on camera and TV work, and you know, I really hope as a company they continue to grow, and a Fight Network would be awesome. They do boxing, they do pro wrestling, they do kickboxing, they do MMA, and you know, with the growth of MMA, I hope they just ride it on in and get to the United States. I think a channel would be great.
All right, well, enough about you. Let's talk about Randy Couture, because yes, you've been working with Randy for the last year or so, writing his book with him, right? It's coming out. It's actually out.
No, it's out July 22nd, Simon & Schuster, which is next Tuesday. The book tour starts on Monday in New York City at Times Square, Virgin Megastore. The name of the book is Becoming the Natural, My Life in and Out of the Cage. And Randy and I have been working on it for about, I want to say 3 years ago. It kind of came to fruition that Randy wanted to do a book, and then went through various levels of getting done. But we pretty much wrote it within 8 months' time.
By the way, you just exposed me, because I was going to post this after Tuesday. I knew when it was coming out, and you just
now this forces you to get it up earlier. How's that? So people actually come to the book tour, which is why I'm here on camera to push Randy's book.
Good. So it all comes together like that. Great thinking, Loretta. Great thinking. Okay, so what's the biggest misconception about Randy? Is there something that you learned that you can try to tell us that, you know, Randy really isn't like this? Or, you know, obviously the huge story of him leaving the UFC would probably have a lot of misconceptions, you know, in itself.
No, definitely him leaving the UFC, I think he wanted to get a point across. I think that point did get a little muddled with the press. Not with the press, but, you know, with the UFC, obviously they wanted to defend themselves and such. So, yeah, that was something he definitely wanted to get across. He's a very quiet guy by nature, so when that UFC departure stuff started rolling out, you know, he did the press conference, and then he really didn't want to do much more than that, and kind of said, I'll talk about what I can in the book and give my viewpoint. So that's what we tried to cover in the last chapter of the book. But the rest of it is, I think a lot of fans will be surprised to find out what a professional he is, all the things he's done as a fighter. He had a whole career as an Olympic wrestler before that. He was a 4-time Olympic alternate, which is a big deal. Right. So I think fans will really be into that, and just what kind of person he was and how he got to where he got to. All
right, well, she's Loretta Hunt. Becoming the Natural is the book. Thank you very much for your time and continued success.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Thank you.